Well, Mr. Prime Minister, dear colleagues, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. For 1.5 years now, the people of Ukraine have been suffering. They have been suffering under a grim and violent conflict. Still, people on both sides are dying almost every day. Close to 2 million people have lost their homes. Let's be clear from the start what triggered this conflict. Russia's annexation of Crimea against all principles of international law and the continuing combat in eastern Ukraine. In short, the path of confrontation that Russia chose to take. Therein lies the root of this conflict, and not, as some are saying, in an intensifying partnership between the European Union and Ukraine. The European Union stands by this partnership. We are by your side, ready to assist your country on its way to regain economic and political stability and keeping Ukrainian unity. That was a clear message coming from the Riga summit just a few days ago, and the roadmap for our cooperation is laid out clearly in our association agreement. So again, let's be clear, not the path of cooperation has led us into this conflict, but the path of confrontation. But as much as I believe that, I also believe that further confrontation will not lead us out of this conflict, but only drive us deeper inside. There is no military solution to this conflict. There can only be a solution based on the values of our European peace order. And even though we are not nearly there yet, we at least have a roadmap. The roadmap is called Minsk. Nobody knows better than me that this roadmap is far from being perfect. I know its imperfections. I know the process is still fragile, but let me also tell you, after long negotiations of Minsk, it's for the time being the only chance we have, the only document which is signed by all conflict parties. Ladies and gentlemen, the path of Minsk is the political path, a path of engagement by avoiding further escalation, a path that requires both conflict parties come to the table and stay at the table. That's why we have the trilateral contact group. I hope that this message is understood in Moscow. We need all three sides to support it and maintain its guiding role. We are lucky that the OSCE is there to give guidance to that group, and I urge all sides to respect that. So, ladies and gentlemen, only briefly, where do we stand? Although the OSCE tried to calm the situation around Shirokine and Donetsk airport with proposals for local ceasefires, we still have daily violations of this ceasefire. Beyond that, we have perhaps reached a new stage in the process. The 4 working groups are up. They are meeting, all the 4, on the 2nd of June. They are working on the 4 main pillars, meaning, first of all, security, secondly, humanitarian aid, thirdly, economic reconstruction, and fourthly, political reform. In all 4 areas, the mountain of challenges is enormous. So we need both quick progress, the low-hanging fruits, so to speak, like building a bridge in Luhansk Oblast or reconnecting gas and water pipes. But we also need progress on the huge tasks, meaning strengthening the ceasefire, supervising and verifying the withdrawal of weaponry, staying on the path that shall lead to the reinstatement of full control of the state border by the Ukrainian government, as agreed in Minsk, rebuilding destroyed infrastructure, tackling bureaucracy and corruption so small business can flourish, foreign companies can invest, and people's lives can improve, and re-engaging in a visible national dialogue, including representatives of the civil society in the East. In all our endeavors, let's not forget, whatever we do it for the people of Ukraine. We are trusting in Ukrainian leadership in setting the right framework, including necessary reform decisions and their implementation. And we stay just as clear in our message to Russia. The duration of international sanctions is linked to the implementation of Minsk. Dear colleagues, we Europeans are there as your partners in all formats of the European Union and in the Normandy format. Together with others, the US, Canada, Japan and others, Germany is a partner supporting Ukraine all in all with roughly 700 million euros this year in bilateral activities alone. Plus, we support Ukraine through the IMF and the EU. In short, we are friends and partners, actively engaged and honest. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, following all phases of the conflict, since the political change in February 2014, and being confronted with all the suffering of the Ukrainian people, we know the work that we have to do. So as I now go on to my political meetings in Kyiv, I wish you a successful conference. Let's get to work, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you.